Hi everyone, and happy New Year to you. You're all very welcome back to the Maroon and White Pod, and thanks to Paul Shaughnessy for asking us back again. Harkin, we must be doing something.
We must be doing something right.
And happy New Year to you, my friend.
And
I haven't
happy
seen
New Year
you.
to you too.
It
exactly.
was. How was the Christmas?
Good. We did a good old Christmas, like all Christmases go, eating and drinking the usual.
Sure.
But I suppose we were hit a little bit with flu as well, so
Yeah.
I'd say like yourself.
The same train hit our house, yeah.
Yeah, and just hard to get over it, like with COVID, you'd be afraid to be COVID, you wouldn't know what it is.
Yeah, I know.
And the whole house was hit, not just yourselves,
Everyone
but
is
the kids
hit,
as
but
well.
even now,
Yeah.
I noticed that back in school, there's a lot
Yeah,
coming and
since we
going.
returned back to school, an awful lot of kids that are out sick, and just look at everyone mind themselves. And flus are important to get solved as quick as you can.
Yeah,
really.
it is. It was a tough enough Christmas now, but look at
So
we're here, we're back at it.
We're back at it, and I suppose the reason for tonight again, as Aoife said, thanks to Paul for welcoming us back to a new year, and with new year comes new beginnings, pre-season training, and I suppose that's the reason why we're kind of here tonight, is to talk a little bit about teams and clubs and their preparation and what's ahead. And we'll chat with Anya in a few minutes about how their preparation is going for heading into the league.
Yeah, it's like, I suppose, the pre-season, I used to always dread the first night. Now it has changed, obviously, in like recent kind of times we're doing gym and stuff like that, so it's not as bad.
No,
back in the time when, like, the cold and the wet and the taste of the blood in the back of your throat, and I'll never forget. But it is different now.
It is different. But
you're fit now going in.
You are fit going in. Well, you're fit going in because you're minding yourself, and you're probably still training up until September, October, especially if it's club related anyhow. Yeah. But the times are different, but at the end of the day, it's all about that hard work, that basic work being done to get yourself match fit, really, or up to match tempo for April and May.
Well, it's sort of like that saying, if you can't beat them, join them. And if you're not like doing your pre-season training and you decide to come in and
you're going
to be behind, and you will be.
You're going to be behind. It's like getting an injury.
Yeah.
You don't want to be behind, but you have no choice. So a lot of girls will be given programs, I'm sure, if they haven't been given them already.
They've started already, the seniors,
and they'll have to stick to those programs, and they're accountable for the work they put in, and that work they put in might determine whether they get a place or not.
And and on that as well, we've come so far over the last number of years with technology. So
it's unbelievable.
If you see now the programs like that the girls get and the lads get on county teams now, and there's even apps for how you're feeling. So, like, how you're feeling on a certain day, and that will determine the training. So if you say that you are feeling a little unwell or a little under the weather on that particular day, this app obviously sends to the manager, and the manager looks, or somebody on the management team will look at it. And if they are sluggish or there's something wrong with training, they look at the app and say, well, it might be that time of the month or something like that. Do you know what I mean?
And it's important too, because player welfare has an awful lot to do with the game today. But saying that, I won't say back in the day, because you're still doing your bit with your club, Aoife, but when you were sick, you did not tell anyone.
God, no.
Because you
God
were afraid
forbid.
of your life that you'd miss your place, or it would knock you back. So sometimes people can milk it too a little bit.
Yeah, are we going to bitting soft though? And some parts of it.
I think we are going to bitting soft, but that's just an opinion. And look at the science behind it is out there. But look at that's for another day. And look at, before we talked to Anya, I was just looking at the fixtures for the year ahead. We have league and champion. Well, we have the league starting quite soon.
The end of January, I think, for the intermediates.
The intermediates, and the senior league then is February and March. So a lot of clubs will probably meeting up if they haven't done already collectively, and getting back into it. And
isn't it tough now for, we'd say, the likes of kind of Sarsfields and stuff that are just after finishing and they have to go back into it again? I'm sure Cathal Murray has granted them a couple of weeks grace for the girls that will be coming back in, and stuff like that. But it is, at least they're fit. Do you know what I mean?
Well, at least they're fit, but you'd wonder.
You want the body needs a bit of rest.
You need a break, and I'm sure that Cathal has been quite lenient and supportive of those girls who have been training.
Yeah, because they've gone around the clock.
Even mentally, you have to.
Oh, we've been joined. Here she is.
So, without further ado, just like to welcome Anya. Anya's Anya Keane from St. Thomas's.
Anya, are you saying Keane or Kane? Because
that depends where you're from. If
you're Anya Keane.
Well, to me, you're Anya Keane.
Yeah,
well, then
Anya Keane. But to the past,
it depends. Like,
it
depends.
You might be Keane.
Here,
yeah.
Anya, when you're from down this side.
No,
You're
Aoife, come
saying-
on now, come on. If you don't do that
The
to me.
only time she gets to wave the Ardrahan flag,
Yeah.
so we'll give her that
We'll
little
have to
bit.
get her. We'll have to get her a Thomas's one.
No, it was.
She'd have
We
to
have
make
to
it
get
anyways. She'd have to make it. You have to get her to make it.
exactly. Sure.
That's
We've got to
it now.
be a Kilbacon team blood knows.
Well,
No,
that's
I must
classic
thank Linda
Kilbacon,
Mullins for these little flags. We had them at the social, and I said, I'm
Oh my
definitely
gosh.
borrowing one of these. So it's taking pride of place. So thanks, Linda, for that. But
There you go now.
Anya, listen, you're very welcome, and thanks a million for coming on.
Thanks for
With
having me.
myself and Harkin here, and we just want to chat a little bit about pre-season. We were just saying like how we used to hate the beginning of pre-season with the taste of blood at the back of your mouth, but it's all changed, and now I don't dread it as much now. You know, obviously I'm not playing county now, I'm playing club, but well, you know, you're fit now before you go out onto the field almost, you know, the pre-training. But will you take us through, I know you're back now, take us through kind of a week of pre-season training now.
Or when did you go back? When did you get the call to go back?
Yeah, so we started back probably as a group mid-December. It was actually probably a bit later than normal, but Cathal was actually very nice to me, and he we had a chat, and I obviously did a fundraiser there like in November. So the legs were between. You remember, Aoife, that's for sure.
Tell us what you did again now.
So I did a 24-hour where I ran 2K every hour for 24 hours.
That was brilliant.
I tried to run every hour for 2 hours, but I only got to about 12 o'clock on the Saturday night. I was like, no, legs can go no more. So I walked the rest of them until the last one. But Aoife now see me in the absolute drains. I was ready to keel over, I tell you.
Yeah, but some achievement, like.
But I'd say you were very overwhelmed, Anya. There was obviously great support there for you.
Brilliant.
Oh, massively. Like I suppose I set out with this idea back last October probably, and I went to Robbie Lane or SNC, and I kind of said to him, I said, Robbie, I have an idea, and he kind of looked at me and he was like, oh God, what's this going to be? But because with me it could be anything, like. But yeah, so I kind of spoke to him about it, and he was like, yeah, sounds good. And then it was supposed to be for December, but then a few things kind of came up, and I was like, no, we'll go in November. And then one thing led to another, and it happened. But it was massively overwhelming. Oh my God, the support and the money, like I could never have ever imagined I'd have ever raised what I raised.
You raised 20, was it nearly 20,000 on you, but you split
50,
it between
15.5 grand. Yeah, 15.5 grand. So like that's
fantastic.
And I split between Cree and Cork Cancer Sport. So like obviously two massive charities.
Brilliant,
I do massive things for, especially here locally with Gort. It's just
Yeah, they're almighty. Yeah, and Cree, you can never go wrong with Cree.
And it's great. It's a bit of PR as well, and you know, great advocate for both those wonderful charities, because I'd say every one of us in the sporting world will be hit or have been hit already by something like it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's what I said. I was like, you know, you might not be directly, but you're indirectly. Indirectly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so absolutely. I said, you know, I want to do my part. So I did. I'm
sure the managers in Thomas's weren't. They were minded.
Nigel didn't sleep for a week, I think.
Yeah, I'd say Niall was kind of shaking his head because they had the final the following week, the Senior B final, and you won that against Clanbridge, and that was a great match. But I'm sure the legs must have been tired now. That was just the following week.
Yeah, the last 15 minutes, I said to myself, I am not. Like, I made one burst. I can just remember so vividly. From I'd say it was near midfield, I think, and I landed in 21, and of course actually it was the penalty. We got a penalty. Sandra Tanyan, she's always good to one or two, like, you know, she's sneaky there. So but I remember after that I was like, oh no, I actually can't. My legs just wouldn't go. And even that night we were in the pub and stuff afterwards.
You were not.
Oh, no, we weren't. Sorry, we weren't. No, we weren't. Of course not. But my legs started swelling. Like my legs were swollen because all the lactic acid just it all just came back to surface again, and
the week before,
But you know what?
That was the hardest part.
And all of that goes out the window too, Anya, doesn't it? When you win and that feeling, you know, you do anything.
It goes out the window. Yeah, exactly. It's just
that was wonderful. Yeah. But you were saying there about Robbie, you'd spoken. Fundraiser, and how did you go from there then with the training?
So then, so obviously college was going on at the time as well. So college league. I played I think only one game at the league. Just with I suppose club championship was still going on, and then the fundraiser, and then I think we've only one game of league left after that. So then I was talking to Cathal, and to be honest, the legs were in a bad way afterwards. So he just said to me if I wanted until after Christmas or to take off until after Christmas, I was more than welcome to. And I took him up with it because I was like, if we don't take a break now, this could come back to bite me in a couple of months.
You're no good to anybody half decent.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. So
you get injured easily.
Yeah, so my first session back then was last Saturday, but we've been training. So like we'll say a week for me, I suppose. We go excluding college because college is only kind of next couple of weeks, but you're talking 3 sessions on the pitch. So whether it's 2 training, maybe a game, or 3 training, depends obviously the week, and then you have 2 in the gym. So you're talking 5 out of the 7 days you're training, doing something. And then I suppose you could say the other 2 days you're nearly thinking of food wise, and it's not so much just training anymore. It's not the training pitch or training the gym. It's looking after sleep, recovery. Oh, it's plays a massive part, like, you know, and if you don't have them right, the other part won't come right either. So that, I think probably that over the years, probably that's what's changed the most with regards to inter-county players.
Oh, definitely. I think,
yeah, I'd say like
more access to it.
I was that long ago, but I think things have changed in that sense that you're now looking, you know, you're thinking tomorrow, or you're thinking today what you're going to eat for tomorrow, because you know you might have match or training, or you're trying to constantly fuel the body, like and then your sleep, as I said, your hydration.
A lot of prep. Is there a lot of prep into the nutrition, Anya?
There is, like, especially days when you're days before games, or your carb loading, we say called carb loading days. Say like,
don't worry, we still know what that means.
Oh,
we still know what that means.
And we
do.
We loaded over Christmas, I tell you.
I have no doubt. You know what that is.
Celebrations and heroes were in abundance.
There you go.
Morning, noon, and night. You could
open up
a selection box at 10 o'clock in the morning. Actually, it's Christmas.
It's just Christmas. But
it's nearly like a full-time job. It's like a full-time job. It's like you've got your college. I know you're in Gar Community College at the moment, or school doing your little bit, but it's a full-time job. Yeah, rumor has it anyhow.
Rumor has it. Rumor has it.
She had to come back to me. She had to come back.
I had to come back to Aoife.
Is there ever a time on, you would say, when you're training competitively, coming towards championship, that you say to yourself at the back of your head, oh my God, is it actually worth it? You know, what makes you tick? What makes you want to keep doing what you're doing?
I always say it, if you don't love it, you won't do it.
Yeah.
And it's as simple as that. If you don't love camogie, and it's not just camogie, if you don't love your job you're in, if you don't love anything, you won't stick at it. And that's, for me, that's it. I just love camogie. And that's the way it's always been. I like, that's all I've ever known as such, you know what I mean? But if you're ever half thinking about something, or half thinking going on a J1, or half thinking going on holidays, or whatever, there's no point in getting involved in these kind of things, because
get that out of your head to do it.
This is your commitment from when you say yes now in December, January, you're committed for the year. You're committed for the full 9 months of inter-county, or 8 months of inter-county, and then the following 3 maybe for club. It's as simple as that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it is amazing what a year difference can bring, that some people want to go on the J1, and they're entitled to do that, because it's not it's not all about camogie either. You know, you have to live a little, but we we were very stuck, and we didn't really get to go because we were so kind of stuck in it. But the season has changed now. You have a chance to go away now. Do you know?
You do, of course. And I think since it brought in split seasons, it's been mighty, because you have, even say if you do get to a final or get to the semi-finals, you have at least a 2 or 3 week break, or 4 weeks actually, I think it was this year, before your club championship starts. So that's giving your inter-county players a chance to breathe, a chance to actually go if they want to go on holidays for a week or 2. And we'll say it now, a lot of them are teachers. Some of them aren't, but a lot of them are. So you still have time before it starts again. You're gone. And even after the league, obviously we have no provincial championships in Galway.
Yeah.
You know, we're one, I think it's only counted nearly. But so we have nearly always a 2 week break after league before we go back into a 6 week. We've 6 weeks. When we go back after the league, we have 6 weeks until championship starts. So we get a 2 week break there. And sure, that's huge for us, because
it is,
it's a chance to breathe. You know, you've done your league, you've done your pre-season, and now it's kind of a refresher before you start championship. It's a refresher with Everton. So definitely.
Do you have to, we'll say, just for if you were giving advice to young girls out there, sacrifices, you know, you know, it's like being in the army. Sometimes they say it's a single life, really, and you're find it very hard for relationships or to build any little bit of a relationship when the commitment. And you mentioned there about teachers, and I remember when Kilkenny, especially Kilkenny hurlers, were going good throughout the years, they were literally poached to go into training colleges so that they'd all be teachers, so they'd have June, July and August off. And it's an absolute massive incentive. The teaching is a great thing if you are playing inter-county. But like, I'm sure some of the girls that you're in training with, Anya, haven't got that luxury of being off for the summer. Do you think that it takes its toll on some of them, or do they have to jiggle work with training?
Absolutely. I have always said it, like one person I can never understand is Emma Helbert. Like I've said her so many times, I'm like, how do you do it? Like,
midwife.
She's a midwife. And like, I'm like,
that's tough now.
You say, oh, I juggle this shift or I juggle this shift, and I'm like, how would you do this? Like, how would you, you know, go to work 8 to 12 hour shifts, and it might be okay, you work, and then we'll say, come on, work, and you're going to train that evening, or you're working the day before, and you're literally going to train in the morning, we'll say, and working that evening. Or like, I admire her because what she does and what she's been doing for the last couple of years for Galway, and then to be able to have this on the side. To have to juggle life at home as well. It's manic. And she's only one of a few. Like Teeny Cormac was another one, you know.
Yes, that's right.
Became a doctor and played inter-county football and camogie. And became a doctor.
It's a massive commitment.
Well,
it's
incredible, a massive commitment, and I just think those who are not in it for the right reason will always find excuses. So, as you said, if you love it,
you'll find a way.
You will work whatever way round whatever 100%. Is needed
you'll do whatever you have to do,
because it's only a short window. People say, oh, county, you could be playing, like we hurled for 15, 16 years, but for some players now it's a short window.
It might be 3 years, it might be 5 years.
So when you get you take it.
But even with regards to, you're all about teaching there, like Joe, they were there shoving them in to become teachers.
They were.
Some people nearly do become teachers just because they're like, oh, that'll suit my camogie career or my hurling career.
I'll be very honest with you. When I was playing, that was my career. That's what I wanted to do, because I was thinking June, July, and August. I'd be free to be training.
It's 3 good reasons to become a teacher.
June, July, and August. And it isn't for the pay. And a shout out to all those hard-working teachers.
Oh, God bless them. God bless them.
God bless them. But like, you won't, you know, them kind of people, they're going into it for the wrong reasons. Teaching, like. So like, they probably spend the next 10 years nearly regretting that decision.
It's a vocation, really, isn't it? Can't
so
imagine us doing anything else, though. It's like, as you said, now the girls there and they having different jobs. I can't imagine
doing shift work in a factory, we'll say, or being high up somewhere and having to juxtapose and fiddle around shifts to be a training. I never experienced that, and you haven't probably either, Anya, or you won't, or Aoife.
Well, not really. Like I worked in Medtronic for the last probably 2 summers on the floor. So like I was in for. Early. I finished, so I was finished at 2:30, but I was in it like
early in.
I was in at 6, and like the first year I was in at 6, gone at 2:30. This summer just gone, I was in at 6:30.
It wasn't worth your while going at that time for that few hours.
There you go. But like, you're in it, you're up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Like the night you're training, you're not in bed until maybe 10, 10:30. You're not asleep until about 11:30.
That's when we only get started.
That's when you're into life altogether.
I know.
But like, I remember, like, and now to be honest, it took an awful lot out of me. For the first while, because you're trying to get used to it, and you're sleeping maybe 5 hours a night. Like, you're training 5 days a week. So you're training Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, solid, and then by the time Friday comes, you're not able to actually like move. And then like, I'm only 21. Like, I'm only a young one. But I'm like,
the way you're talking, it's where you were now. You're getting started.
But that's why I'm like, how do people, like, I couldn't imagine being able for the next 10 years, if like, hopefully I'd be around for the next 10 years playing inter-county, hopefully. But like, I couldn't imagine doing that. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't be able to sustain it. There's no way, like.
Your body wouldn't be able to. And you see, it's gone so much harder. There's an awful lot harder. And remember, we were talking there, Anya, a few days ago about like cruciates and, the weight, doing weights and stuff, women. And I think it's been scientifically, some part of it has been proven that the boots are part of it, the hurling boots, football boots, whatever they call, that they're one part, but also the way we're genetically built, our hips are wider than our knees, and it's the load that we're putting on. But it's mad, isn't it, how like it has become so, I don't like using the word popular for cruciates, but among women.
Yeah.
So if you can stay away from, touch wood, injuries and stuff, and here's to a great career ahead for you, Anya. But we were actually talking about like this whole idea of the podcast. Myself and Martina were asked who was kind of for the promotion of Camogie, and what came up in the news there yesterday was startling, really. But I kind of had this thing in my head that the GA or the ladies Gaelic football was so far ahead of the women's like Camogie, but it's not really, because as I was saying to you, Harky, there was 50,000 at the ladies Gaelic football final, and there was 30,000 at the Camogie.
Yeah.
But you have to remember that, and Alan keeps reminding me, because I do be teasing Alan, after anyone will play football, and he's like, there's only a few counties playing hurling. Sure, why wouldn't you make it? Like we'd be teasing that way. But like obviously there would be a bigger number coming to the ladies Gaelic football because there is more counties playing and there's more. But it was funny to see that nearly 60% of people that went to the games were men that went to the women's games. So we've kind of said, and Sharon Glynn, we were talking to Sharon. Sharon is the manager of the under-16s, and she was saying that women don't support women enough. And that's probably, there's no answer to this. Like, we're never going to be as strong or as physically strong as kind of men versus women. Like, so chatting again to, Pat Knoll there today, and he was saying like, it's like comparing apples with oranges, like, the whole thing of
they're two separate things, like
competitions, completely different. But what do you think?
Like, I'm not surprised with the 60% that it's probably that men, 6% more men will go to a women's game than a woman. I'm not surprised that you nearly even see that like at any games, if you look around, it's actually the case.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what leads that. I have no clue. But as you said, it's like compare her and Camogie. It's like comparing apples and oranges. They're two different things. Like the men's game is obviously it's way more evolved. It's quicker, it's faster. It's just the skills are that bit better. But do I think Camogie's far behind? No, I don't. But we're still two different things. Like we, as Camogie players, will never get to the speed of the hurling or.
No, that's
no matter what we do. Like it's
no matter what we do. There's no actual answer to that question as to why we're not getting crowds. Number one, I think atmosphere has a lot to do with it. And I think there's a better atmosphere. Even if myself and Aoife were chatting before we came online, and we were saying, even if it was a bad championship club game in May, we'd still go because the atmosphere would actually be very good. Not necessarily the skill on display or the game itself.
It could be the worst hurling match.
Could be the worst hurling match ever, but
you go to it. Yeah. You go to it. Like, do you know what I mean?
But you don't think about it. You just do it. You just
go. And you'll be gone early.
Yeah.
So you get a parking spot. Yeah.
Exactly.
And I don't know what it is. That was another thing that came up. Some of the reasons why people didn't go to games. Lack of coverage. They didn't know when it was
massive.
And the venues were hard to get to because obviously we as women, we know from the schools, it's impossible to get venues. And a big shout out actually to Kilbeakenty and to Ballinderrine for helping us out big time.
With
the schools, my God, because trying to get finals and stuff, and they've been brilliant to us there,
but that's exactly it. You've hit the nail on the head there with your 2 points. Like, the media coverage, like you can't. If people don't know about something, they can't go to it. It's as simple as that.
Exactly. Yeah.
And the other thing on it, this was funny now, and it would kind of like, and I asked a few first years, particularly like today, who is your female idol? And there was it took them a few minutes to kind of come up with, but it was like Katie McCabe. Now that's a big difference because it was
Katie
Taylor for a long time.
For a long time.
But you see, how did Katie McCabe become so popular all of a sudden? Because of the coverage.
And she's seen on television. She's on posters. She's taking shots. She's involved in other ads and media.
Yeah. And the other one they were saying, their sporting heroes was like Bundyaki. And it wasn't even female sports. They're saying that half the people in Ireland, this is now what came out of the little
research thing.
LGFA thing survey yesterday, that half of them didn't think that there was enough female sports heroes, that they didn't know them. Do you know what I mean? And isn't that shocking to think that the amount of training that's done, the amount of, do you know?
Yeah.
So we have to, as women, support women. And we're not going down the whole feminist route, but we just have to join behind each other. Do you know? And I was saying to you, Harkin, you'll have a massive crowd at under 6 games, under 8 games, because the parents have to go. But why do we suddenly, when we reach 14, 16s, 18 seniors, drop them off and good luck to you? Yeah. I'll do a 5K run while the match is
going on. It's exactly it.
So we do need to get
I don't know. Like, I think if the media coverage improves, like with regards to Camogie and LGFA and all that, like I think this will improve. And to be honest, like if you look, just strip back to maybe 5 years. So we'll go with a 5-year period. So where we are now and where we were 5 years ago. There is a massive improvement.
There is. Yeah. It is getting better and better and better. Like,
but we need to drive it on now. We need to push it that it keeps going in the right direction. Do you know what I mean? We can't just settle for where we're at now. We have to keep going with it, because if we don't keep going, then it won't get better.
Wasn't the thing, you might have seen it with the club cam. Siobhan McGuire had it on her, and then the referee had it on him, and somebody from Dixborough had it on, I think.
Yes.
And you could just, but you know, it was with AIB, and it brought a little bit of life in the place, and it got a lot of coverage on the thing. It was nice to see that.
It was lovely to see.
And
and speaking of atmosphere, we'll say, just for example, playing in Croke Park to whatever, and then playing for your club, the massive difference in atmosphere. So, going into a club championship that you'll probably have 50 people at the game. And it does, I'm sure, Anya, it does. It did when we were hurling, and I'm sure it did with you in the last couple of months. It does have an impact on your game.
100%. You as players, you nearly feed off especially if you're a forward. You feed off the crowd. So, if you're in a tight game and you score a point and you have this massive roar behind you and it's coming towards the end, that just gives you such a drive.
Yeah.
And it nearly actually dampens the other team. Like, it nearly deflates them. Do you know what I mean? So if you don't have that, which unfortunately in club games, like all year, I'd say it with Thompson's, you're talking only 50
majority of club teams.
Yeah.
Even with the final, like there wasn't that many there. Now it wasn't the worst the supporters event, but still compared to, I know I don't compare it to lads, but
no, but it's the truth.
But if you only had,
the lads, like, the way obviously we'll be all guns blazing for the lads the next day. And would the lads come to support you? Yeah,
in all fairness, they would.
Yeah,
they would be very good supporters. Yeah. Now, obviously, some of them have sisters on the team, but no, they in general they are. And as a club, obviously, some clubs are joined. Like Ormore is joined with everything's under the one roof. In Thompson's, we're not, but we nearly are as if we are. Do you know what I mean? We get on very well together. Like, in all fairness,
success wins that, though, doesn't it?
But it's back to club culture again, isn't it? And it's back to who you are and what you do, and getting the team behind you and getting other teams behind you as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, very important. Yeah.
No, it's
we don't have the answers. We hope that we would be able to do something, even by just having this little chat, that other people will start thinking, or maybe you get young girls thinking, maybe I should be going to more games. And I think too, other sports have an impact. Parents will say a young aspiring camogie player might want to go to CE playing first round of the league, and mum or dad might have something on, or there's a soccer game in the house and they just don't go. So camogie suffers sometimes.
Yeah. I think it comes with winning though as well. I think if you're winning, like even just going off, we'll say the league games last year, right? Before we won the league final, to then the championship games after we won the league final. There's a massive increase in the people there.
Yeah.
Like at the Rye, even against Cork, the first round championship last year against Cork, I'll never forget, it was so warm that day. But the crowd was, I had never seen a crowd that big in Athy for a camogie. Yeah. Never. So it was, I think the more you win, the more, even in Thomas's, for us to win that Senior B, might only be a Senior B. And some people say, like, that's not a Senior A, it's only Senior B. Yeah, but for us, it was huge because...
You can only win what's in front of you as well.
Exactly.
You're making progress. That's what it's about.
100%.
And it's about retaining players on you. That's what we're... Like, it's about retaining players. And I know you mentioned winning there, and it's brilliant when you're winning. But there's a million other, well, not a million, there's like a load of other teams that will never win, but they stay at it, which is what we want.
But they stay at it. Exactly.
Yeah. And it is funny, actually, and on the promotion of it, wasn't there, we're talking 250,000 among, was it 600 and many clubs?
€250,000 Camogie Association pledged to give 624 clubs. So that's 250,000 at grassroots commitment. Like, you take 624 clubs, how much is that? You know, it's poor, but it's not their fault either. Because
I'd take it. I'd have it spent in Zara and the sales.
It'd be gone. You wouldn't even see it. It'd be gone. Don't go to Zara.
Oh, stop. Anya, thanks a million. We'll leave you with that.
We'll leave you on one question, Anya. What advice would you give to a young under 14 now? She's coming of age, wants to break onto the county scene. What bit of advice in maybe a sentence or two would you give that girl if she wants to wear the Galway jersey?
Work hard. Simple as that. You have to work hard and be a selfless player. You have to. You won't win that on your own. So if you don't have a team behind you or beside you, you won't make it. But it's simple as just keep doing the simple things right. You know, get the basics right, and everything else will fall into place. Yeah. Just your touch, catching the ball, whatever it may be. You have them right, you have them quick, and you have them fast. You'll be fine, and you walk up through the grades.
So true, like.
And on a final note, seeing as you're a Thomas's woman, when you were growing up, who was your idol?
Oh, well, see, I'm actually Kilbacon woman.
Which is Kilbacon, you know.
Would you believe?
That's like her telling me I'm a Gort woman. You know, because I work in Gort.
Your sporting idol, male and female, as a young 14-year-old.
As a young 14-year-old, or even younger, probably would have been Niall Donoghue, hurling-wise.
Yeah.
Grew up with him. Like I played backs with the boys for years. So when I was playing with them, he was really breaking on to the Galway scene and stuff. So I would always look to him because he was obviously a back as well. Yeah. And then as a female, I'm going to have to say probably Therese. Oh, Aoife Lynskey, obviously. Therese
there you go.
Therese Maher.
I was going to say it was hard.
Very hard. You think about, but Therese Maher, absolutely brilliant.
Probably would be, or Brenda Haney, one too. But
it's hard though, isn't it? Yeah. It is like hard to think of.
Yeah, but I suppose I'll never forget that 2013 All-Ireland final when they won. So that was probably
absolutely, and that was rubber on the ground, and it was like the Holy Grail.
But just I suppose in general that team, and you were it was into me as well that day. Like so, that kind of team was the first for me. It was the first kind of you know.
Well, it was the first All-Ireland since 96, so it was a long time coming as well. But it definitely that generated massive amount of promotion of Camogie within Galway. You know,
oh, massive. I'll never forget winning All-Ireland in Croke Park, being there, and then the parade after when you came back and stuff here. I'll never forget that. You know, that was kind of the first real Camogie memory for me. Like so. Yeah.
And that's 11 years now.
Yeah, that's 11 years.
I know.
Can I ask you a question? Are you a reader?
Not really, no.
Oh, no. Well, I was just saying.
Why are you bringing out a book? Or
well, I'm not bringing out a book.
What's going on? I'm going to quote the book.
She didn't buy me a book for Christmas,
but there's a book coming. I happened to be in a bookstore over Christmas, walked in, and first book I put my hand on was a book called The Glass Ceiling. And it's about Emer Ryan. She used to play hurling, or she used to hurl with Tipperary back in the maybe late 90s, early 90s. But you telling me they're growing up playing with the boys. I played with the lads teams. Aoife played, nearly all Camogie players played with the lads teams. But Emer brought out a wonderful book called The Glass Ceiling. And if you just open the front page and read it, it's like you're reading about yourself. It was about how she had to constantly compete with the boys to play hurling. That she never called herself a Camogie player. She always called herself a hurler. And it was only when she hit a little bit of puberty around 12 and 13 where she'd no choice but to play on the girls' team. And she was far, far ahead of them. And she just couldn't understand why she couldn't play in the boys' team. Yeah, and it was just her journey as a young woman in sport, being not accepted on a man's team. And it was wonderful, a great read. So if you're bored,
we might have
the
to.
glass ceiling.
If you have a free class tomorrow.
Free class tomorrow.
We'll read it, Aoife, now. You might have to read it.
That's so funny because we were actually chatting. I know we'll let you go now, I promise. We were
chatting
about,
you're right.
how it is actually very, very good for young girls and young boys to play together. It brings up the speed and everything.
Right up to
and we do it
years.
Down in the what's called.
But they
don't do it now, you see, because we were playing up until we were 14, and then it kind of it went. But now I don't think they're playing to 14 because now the lads are actually gone.
I'd say
bigger.
under 9, under 11 max now. And
I'd say max. Yeah, it was under 12 when I finished. Was under 12 was the last kind of thing, and that was it's 9 years ago. So
it's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, because
the funny story was I was telling Anya, I won't say the team we were playing, but I was playing with Terjahan on 14.
Very not.
And just a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And
just a couple.
And the other team, when they see me coming, the ponytail flying over and back, and take the nail polish off her, as in cut the hands of her. I'll always remember it, and that's like 100 years ago. Do you know what I mean? It was so funny. But Anya, listen, get to bed, get some rest. You're going to be busy tomorrow at school.
Very busy. The very best of luck this year. We'll be there at every game, as we always are.
Thanks a million.
To promote the game and also to support you. And lovely talking to Anya. And you never know, we might get you back on again to see out the year. And take it handy up there in Gort, anyhow.
Yeah, we'll look after.
Don't worry.
God bless you. And
thanks a million, Anya.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
See you later.
Bye.
Oh, we're chatting through there.
Fantastic.
So, just I suppose to finish up ourselves now. We'll quickly run through the fixtures kind of the schools. And
also before we start, I just want to congratulate all not the new managers, but ratified county managers starting from the top. Cathal Murray, intermediate, Conor Dolan, minor under 18, Stephen Glennon in Crockwell, Sharon Glynn under 16, and a congratulations to Rory Moynihan in Crockwell, who is the new development officer. And the best of luck to all managers this year as you start out on your journey, and hopefully it'll be a successful one in the maroon and white. And we know that the majority of those teams have gone back already. Aoife and myself and Aoife are involved ourselves with teams, and we just want to look forward, I suppose, to the year ahead.
It's mad how quick it comes around, and it's lovely to get the break away from coaching and playing ourselves, and then you're raring to go.
You're raring to go, and it's nice to go back and look at the next 6 weeks. And as everyone knows, as a player or even as a coach, will be slogging, and it will be hard work, but it'll be so worth it.
And the good thing as well about the kind of the under 16 and the minors is I hear that it's kind of an open panel. So if there are girls, it's not just a case of if you didn't make that panel that you'll never get a look in.
Because it's a
keep
thin
hurling.
Keep hurling. And do the invisible, as I say. Be doing the little bit at home when no one is watching you. Because that to me is when All Irelands are won and lost. Is that little bit extra that you do at home? That I always say, do you come to train, or do you come to train to practice, or you do come training to show off what you've been practicing
on your own?
And to me, that's there's no point in turning up training and going through a drill and then repeating it again. The next night you turn up training and you show what you've actually been practiced with. So to all the young girls out there, make sure you're practicing. Keep at it, get your touches in, and even though if it could be raining, snowing, you name it.
Well, as Anya said there, work hard. That's what you have to do.
Absolutely.
What's that saying about talent and hard work? Hard work would beat talent over. No, it's gone from it. I do know it. I do. Next week I'll have it. Give me a chance. I'm only have to. What's it? Talent beats hard work. No,
she'll get it next week. Or if there's anyone out there that wants to add it in the comment box to tell you.
Talent beat no. Oh, I know it. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, now there you go.
She has it. And look, before we finish as well, best of luck to all the post-primary schools who are representing Connacht in All-Ireland quarterfinals. So we'll start from Senior A and Junior A. Presat and Rye are in both.
Yeah.
They're playing Munster champions in the next 2 weeks. Senior B and Junior B, best wishes to St. Rayfields.
Yeah.
We're in an All-Ireland quarter-final in both, and winners represent Connacht against Munster in a semi-final. In C, we have Mercy Roscommon, and in Junior C, we have Holy Rosary College in Montbellew, and in D, Senior D and Junior D, we have Calasanctious in Oranmore. And a big shout out to all the teachers, all the coaches, and I suppose all managements, principals in particular, for giving teachers the time off to allow those girls to collectively come together and train. And a shout out to all the clubs. I know it can be difficult, clubs trying to get their players when school games are on, but look, keep the lines of communication open with schools. We have a very short window, September to Christmas, so onwards and upwards for Camogie. And I think that's it, my friend.
I think that's it, my friend, as well.
And big thanks to Anya, and big thanks to you, Aoife, again.
Thanks to you, and good to see you, because I hadn't
great to see you.
Christmas,
absolutely. And we look forward to next week with another guest, and we'll talk shop. And
if we're allowed back, hopefully no.
Well, hopefully. It's goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me.
And don't forget to subscribe to the
Maroon and White
podcast. All right. God bless you all.
You're putting me under pressure tonight, so
God bless you all, and chat next
Bye, guys.
week.
Thanks a million.
Bye.